So it was absolutely chaos at my house today. Lots of stuff going on. We just had the holiday and everything. So I said, you know what? Maybe I will just get out of the house and make my video out here, out in the water. Plus it's good to get out and walk around a little bit so I can stop being a big fat person. King George doesn't have all that many places where you can go and get really nice views and nice scenery. This is about as good as it gets for King George. Just gotta find a place where we can sit down and talk for a minute. I guess that'll do. So my purpose for coming out here today was to talk with you once again about one of my absolute favorite fish in this hobby, the Oscar fish. This is a fish that I have kept for 25, 26 years now. I absolutely love this fish, and you might be thinking about getting one. I thought I would talk about the experience that I've had so far having these two Oscars that I already have, and then also talk about some things you need to know about these fish if you're thinking about going out and getting one. People out here being good citizens, picking up trash on the beach. Don't they realize I'm trying to make a video? So the two Oscars that I have right now, I bought back on August 24th, which was Lisa's birthday. We went up to Baltimore, Maryland with our friends, the River Life and King and Queens cichlids. I don't know which corner it is, but I'll put a card up here to the video where we were hanging out with them that day. We had a lot of fun going up there getting them. I picked these two fish up. They were like 2.5 or so inches when I got them. It's been 3 months and they're like 5 inches now. They have doubled, more than doubled in size since I got them. They're absolutely amazing. And not only have they grown really fast, but they've also developed such an amazing personality. I mean, we all fall for it, don't we? The Oscar's personality. But the real deal is they just think you're gonna feed them. They're absolute gluttons, and every time you walk up to the tank, they recognize you as being the person that feeds them, and so they go crazy, and you think they're just happy to see you, but no, they think you're gonna feed them. It's cold out here. I gotta put my hands in my pockets. But that is one of the things that I wanted to talk about with these fish, is the fact that they grow so fast. This is something that surprises a lot of people, and they end up regretting buying Oscars because they get them, they're cute and adorable. They have these big bulging googly eyes, and they're about 2 inches long, and they pay like $4 for them. They don't realize how fast these fish grow, and it's something that completely blindsides them. 6 months after they buy them, they're like, oh God, these fish are getting so huge, and I put them in a 29-gallon tank. What am I gonna do now? Don't make that mistake. If you want to get an Oscar, make sure you have an appropriate size tank for them, a minimum, bare minimum of 75 gallons. But no, put them in a 125 gallon, minimum 75, 125, perfect. All right, so people are looking at me funny. They're wondering who I'm talking to. So, plus it's cold out here. Let's go back to the house. We'll finish talking about these fish. That's something I'll never get used to, being in public, making videos. People seeing me, wondering what I'm doing. Even right now, I'm sitting at a red light and I'm got my camera out. People have to be looking at me that are also sitting at the same red light. Like, what's this idiot doing? I don't know. Oh, green light. All right, there we go. Much better in here. Nice and warm and toasty, and I don't have anybody looking at me funny. Why is this video called The Coolest Fish in the Hobby? Well, it's very simple. Like I talked about at the beach, the first thing about Oscars that draws people to them is their personality. It doesn't matter if they're an inch long or if they're a foot long. These are fish that when you walk up to the tank, they're gonna go crazy. I mean, mine is right here, and look what they're doing. The Severums are coming up too, but the Oscars are all over me. It's because they think I'm gonna feed them, just like I was talking about at the beach. But that is something that's very appealing to a lot of people because it's almost like they're being greeted like a dog would when you come home from work. So it is a really cool thing about them. It's one of the things that made me fall in love with them, but there's other things too. Like the fact that they grow really fast and they're super easy to keep. Now, the fact that they grow really fast and the fact that they're super easy to keep can actually be a bad thing too, because that can promote laziness and all of this, but we'll get into that in a minute. But the fact that you can have almost that instant gratification, none of us have patience. We don't want to wait for things. We want things to happen right away. And with Oscars, you don't have to wait forever and ever and ever for them to grow to an impressive size. It happens super fast with these fish if you take care of them properly. And taking care of them properly is really easy because these are an easy fish to keep. However, that can actually be a bad thing too. We're going to get into all of the reasons why these fish are the coolest fish ever, but we're also going to get into why that can actually be a bad thing. But before we get into that, I want to talk about the last thing that makes them one of the coolest fish ever, and that is their striking appearance. Now, I understand there's a lot of people that think Oscars are ugly. They look at them, their eyes are too big, they're derpy, they're weird, but to me, this is a very attractive fish. Mine, I got very lucky with them. I've got an albino tiger and a standard tiger. You could call it a black tiger, whatever you want to call it, but it's a tiger Oscar and an albino Oscar. And to me, of course, I'm a little biased, but they're two of the prettiest Oscars in the world. I just love them. Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to say that about their own fish, right? But I really do feel like I got lucky with these, and it just is what it is. I mean, all Oscars to me are attractive. Yeah, some of them are a little goofy. Some of them are a little derpy. They might have crooked mouths or their eyes are weird, but to me, that is one of those things that makes them so appealing. I don't know. I like fish that when you look at them, you go, "Aw," and it's not for the reason of, "Oh, they're so cute." It's kind of like, "Oh, I feel sorry for that." But that's the perfect segue into the next thing. When you look at a fish and you're like, "Oh, I feel sorry for that fish," you can actually find a lot of Oscars that you would feel sorry for. And there's a lot of reasons why that happens, but they're all tied into everything that I just said. The fact that they grow really fast, like we were talking about at the beach, might surprise a lot of people. They didn't realize that they grow this fast, and all of a sudden they've got a 12-inch Oscar in a 29-gallon tank, and you got yourself a real problem on your hands. But also, because they grow so fast, they also eat a lot and poop a lot. The more they eat, the more they're going to produce waste, and the waste from an Oscar is massive, and it can become a real problem very quick. So because they're eating so much, because they're pooping so much, we need to keep up with our maintenance, because even though these fish are very easy to keep, I listed that as one of the reasons that makes them the coolest fish ever, they're also susceptible to diseases. They need their water to be clean, just like any other fish in this hobby. And if you let it get out of control, you might have a real problem on your hands, and you might be killing your fish and not know it. One of the things that I've noticed about Oscars, they can have a bad disease like hole in the head or something really severe, but they won't act like it. They'll act completely normal, and they'll keep coming up to you every time you walk up to the tank. And so you're thinking, everything's fine. The fish is acting totally normal. I don't need to treat it for any kind of illnesses or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, that illness takes hold, and then it's too late. So the fact that they have that amazing personality can actually be looked at as a bad thing too, because they will keep that amazing personality even if they're not feeling so good. So the thing is, to have an Oscar and have it be the most amazing fish in the hobby, you do need to do your job. I'm not going to get all preachy on you here, folks, but you do need to take care of these fish. The fact that they're easy to keep does not mean that you can be lazy. Remember, they poop a lot, they eat a lot, and they're swimming around in their own toilet. So come on, let's keep the water clean for them. Do your maintenance, do routine maintenance. Just get on a particular routine of doing maybe 50% water changes a week or something like that. This is a 360-gallon tank. I'm not going to do the math because I always do math wrong when I'm on videos and I've embarrassed myself. But if you think about doing a 50% water change in this tank, that's a lot of water, and it takes a lot of time to drain it all out and then fill it back up. But guess what? I do it every single week. Why? Because I know that with these Oscars, and not only that, but 3 arowanas, I don't know how good you can see them because of the glare, but with all of these heavy hitters in there, they're pooping a lot, they're eating a lot, they need clean water. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure that these fish are healthy and happy and not swimming around in a toilet that hasn't been flushed. So again, if taken care of properly, Oscars, in my opinion, are the coolest fish in the aquarium hobby. I didn't say they're my favorite fish. They're one of my favorite fish, but they happen to be in the aquarium. My two happen to be in this aquarium with my favorite fish, which would be the silver arowana. So it's the best. I've got my favorite fish with the coolest fish. Yeah, I will debate anyone, any day, any time, that Oscars are the coolest fish in the hobby. I know we all have our favorites, but to me, the fact that they grow so big so fast, they have these amazing personalities. They're easy to keep. You still do have to take care of them, but they're also a striking looking fish. They're a nice looking fish. A lot of people think Oscars are ugly. I don't agree with those people. I think they are absolutely gorgeous, and I love them, and I love the fact that they are a fish that acts like a dog. All of those things make these fish the coolest fish in the aquarium hobby. But you might disagree, and that's fine. What do you think is the coolest fish in the aquarium hobby? I would love to see you comment down below. To me, it's Oscars. I have a lot of fish that I love, but total package, appearance, personality, ease of care, all of that, I'm a sucker for Oscars. I'm kind of starting to get nervous that this channel might become the KG Tropicals Oscar channel because I talk so much about them. But you know what? I've been keeping these fish for so long. They are a part of me. I absolutely love them. I just can't talk enough about them. But if you are someone that is new to fish keeping, you've seen these Oscars, you see them at every single store you go to, and you're thinking you might get one, I say do it, but do it as long as you have a tank that can carry them for their life. Even if you're somebody that says, well, I've got a 55 now, but I'm gonna upgrade to a 125 in 6 months. Don't do it. Just don't buy the Oscars until you have that 125. Just hold off. I know it's hard, but once you have the 125, go ahead and put them in there. It'll be easier to take care of because it's a bigger body of water. The water's not gonna get fouled up as fast. Plus, they'll grow faster because if they're in a bigger tank with cleaner water, they're gonna grow faster than if they're in a teeny tiny spot. So if you're thinking about getting one, but you're not prepared for them yet, don't fall for this trap of, well, I'm gonna get them now, I'm gonna let them grow, and then I'm gonna get a bigger tank. Don't do that. Things happen, and we don't end up getting that new big tank. Just hold off. Wait till you have the new tank. You'll be doing the right thing, and you'll be glad you did because you'll put them in there, they'll just explode, and you'll have so much fun. And you will learn then why I am so crazy about these fish, their personalities. You just have to have one to understand. I mean, the arowanas, they go crazy when I feed them too, but it's different because the Oscars will literally look at you with those bug eyes and they're like, hi, I love you. Can I have food, please? It's amazing. They are the best fish. If you're thinking about getting one, be prepared for them. Be prepared to do the work. Be prepared for them to eat a lot and poop a lot and foul the water up. Keep that water clean. It'll prevent them from getting things like hole in the head and all that. And if you do that, you will have one of the coolest fish in the hobby. This really wasn't a Oscar care video. If you want to see an Oscar care video, I'll put a card up top for our 10 Things episode. Tells you 10 things that you need to know about Oscars. Go ahead and check that out, and you'll see more detailed information of things you need to know about these fish. But really today, the whole purpose of today's video was for me to just talk about how much I absolutely love these fish. And I hope I didn't make myself look like an idiot. I know there were people at that beach that thought I was an idiot. But anyway, this has been fun. Thank you for letting me talk about what I think is the coolest fish in the hobby. And that's all. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now, and I'm gonna feed these fish because, like all day long, they're starving.